All right, guys, well, I'm back today with a really awesome little revolver made by North American Arms. If you follow the channel, you'll know I've reviewed and taken a look at some NAA micro revolvers in the past in .22 long rifle, and this one is very similar, and I picked this one up from Beltway Gun and Pawn, located in Matthews, North Carolina. These guys really help out the channel by giving me a store credit once a month on a gun to pick to review that I haven't seen or added to the collection, and this is what I chose this month. A 22 mag micro single action revolver. This thing is neat. Let's talk about those specs and features, and then we'll do some first shots with it today. So when I saw this on Beltway Gun and Pawn's shelf, I knew I had to grab it. It came with the original box, the locking case, and it looks almost unfired. Now, Beltway really specializes in a wide variety of used firearms, so if you happen to be in Matthews, North Carolina, swing by, check them out, tell them 704 Tactical sent you over, and they'll actually give you 10% off of any purchase in their store, saving you some good money. Now, these are also really neat, but they're more of a niche. I don't necessarily recommend these for personal defense, but as a last ditch or backup gun, these are pretty interesting. They don't load like a traditional revolver either. You simply pull out the pin, kind of bring it to half cock, and the cylinder rotates out the side, and you can load your 22 mag. You simply rotate it kind of back in there, and once you line it up, you'll reinsert the pin in the front. A little bit tricky on camera. But once you do that, you're ready to go. The other interesting thing about these revolvers is they have these safety notches in between the firing positions. And what that allows for you to do is cock it, rotate it. You can line up that safety notch. So what you'll do is you'll make sure it's on that safety notch. You'll pull the trigger. You'll slowly lower it down in the safety notch, and it kind of locks it into place, so you can see you've got a cylinder on one side and then another on the other side, and that allows this to be resting on the cylinder itself, not actually the chamber or resting on a round. That way, if it drops and hits, it's not going to fire the round. Something to consider. Now, this is a little bit larger than the other two I have, so it might be a little bit more manageable when it comes to holding it and shooting it. But again, guys, this is not a precision instrument, just a get-off-me gun, a fun gun, or kind of a belly gun. Let's do some shooting, enough talking and looking at it. Let's see how it actually performs with those 22 mags. Now, a cautionary tale about these is a lot of negligent discharges happen, not necessarily as a fault of the weapon, but because a lot of newer shooters may get one of these and not really understand how it works. So you'll definitely want to be cautious, read your owner manual, and make sure you understand that it's got a very short single action trigger, and when you're loading them, to rest it on one of these safety cylinders. So this has got 5 rounds of 22 mag loaded up. And then I also suspect another one of the reasons why these are a little bit tricky is because it's such a small gun and you have to pull the hammer back to get everything in there. And you want to be really careful while you're putting this pin in. You will have to get a little bit close to that barrel, but it should lock in and slide up. Now, this one is actually riding on a round right now. So what we'll do is we'll cock it back a little bit, rotate it, and slowly lower it down into that safety notch. We'll want to line it up into that safety notch, and you can see, guys, around on this side and around on this side, and it locks it into place in a safe position. Now let's fire this thing. So in summary, this thing is really awesome. I just finished up shooting about 5 or 6 cylinders full. Not a ton to do like an in-depth durability review, just enough to get a feel for this revolver, and it works great. No issues whatsoever. It does what it should. Again, remember when you're loading this and unloading this, be very careful since it's so small and a little bit awkward, but it's really easy to cock the hammer. It's got some nice texturing on the top, and I find it fairly accurate. I'm at about 5 to 7 yards and I'm hitting little 6-inch poppers, no problem whatsoever. And then I can really dump a cylinder fast at about 7 yards at a man-sized silhouette, hitting very center of mass. Now the 22 mag definitely packs a punch compared to 22 long rifle, and this one has a little bit more recoil than the 22 LR versions of this gun. But this one's also a little bit bigger, so it's a little bit easier to hold, a little bit more manageable, and the barrel length not only adds a slight amount of velocity to this, but it actually gives you a better sight picture to hit your targets at a distance. So if you were looking at one as a concealed carry, deep carry, backup gun, the 22 mag, this would be a good version with the slightly longer barrel. My cameraman's got one with a ported barrel. He really likes it. So a lot of positives about these guns, but they are a unique gun, and I definitely don't recommend one for your primary carry. But if you're wearing gym shorts or as a backup, something like that, this may be a viable option in 22 mag with the longer barrel. I'll leave all those part numbers specific for this one in the description below. And a huge shout out to Beltway Gun and Pawn, located in Matthews, North Carolina. Again, if you happen to be in the area, tell them 704 Tactical sent you over, and you'll get to save 10% off your order. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.